In today's recap, a woman with extreme anger issues seeks vengeance against those responsible for her boyfriend's murder, leaving a wake of chaos and violence behind her unrestrained rage. Enjoy! Lindy Lewis looks like a shy, sweet little girl. Her parents urge her to join other kids at the table for birthday cake. Usually, she's normal, but deep in her DNA, a condition lies dormant. As she smiles at her parents, a boy next to her takes her cake. He grins, eating it proudly. Angry, she pushes his face into the cake. Everyone watches in shock. Growing up, Lindy struggles to control her rage over small things. Sitting quietly in the hospital, it's clear her anger and condition are worsening. The doctor labels it intermittent explosive disorder. He hands her parents a form for guardianship transfer. She can't live safely in society, posing a danger to others. She must live alone, away from people, until her condition is cured. High cortisol levels make her stronger and quicker than most. Doctors watch her in a padded room. Lindy's temper is volatile and she reacts violently if provoked. Until she gains control, she's a human test subject, possibly useful for military purposes. She wins all her fights, not stopping at the whistle. Soldiers cheer as she's pulled from her beaten opponents. Pushed to anger, she assaults the commanding soldier, returning to the facility. Lindy undergoes an innovative treatment, a shock vest she controls. The vest and a wrist remote allow her to function almost normally. Dr. Ivan Munchin, the vest's creator, suggests she try dating. Munchin thinks a date could test her ability to maintain a healthy relationship. She agrees to date Justin, an accountant. En route to meet Justin, she sees a man yelling at a car valet. Watching, she feels rage and fantasizes about confronting him. She calms herself with the vest's shock. Lindy introduces herself to Justin at the restaurant. She says she won't stay long and apologizes. She admits she doesn't date much and lacks stories as Justin shares dating mishaps. When ordering, she tells the waitress she's leaving. The waitress insists Justin leave the two-person table. Lindy agrees to stay. The waitress's rudeness annoys them as they order. Lindy considers using a knife but opts for the shock vest. In the restroom, she overhears the waitress mocking customers. The vest fails to work this time. Unable to hold back, she assaults the waitress and leaves Justin alone. He checks outside but doesn't find her. Back home, Lindy undresses, revealing her shock vest. She goes to Dr. Ivan Munchin and insists he repair her shock remote. He gives her handcuffs to wear while he examines the device. He wonders if her date with Justin, which he set up, went well. She admits she couldn't stop herself from hitting someone, so no, it wasn't. Dr. Munchin explains her shock vest isn't a solution. This will only start working if she starts dealing with her past. While he taps the table, Lindy pictures escaping the handcuffs and attacking him. She takes a deep breath. He tosses the key, says he's upped the voltage, and warns her the body has limits. He tells her the solution is forming close relationships. Lindy rides the subway next to a man who's trying to push her out of her seat. She smacks him in the face. Munchin's happy she called for a second date. They talk about their lives. He's an accountant at a company owned by someone named Barry. Lindy says she was a security guard at a bad bar. She explains it's about being fast, tough, and brave, not just size. She mentions she wants to be a photographer. Lindy asks him to come into her apartment. Justin sees her shock vest and says, "It's not a big deal." They have an intense night together. Next morning, Justin gives Lindy a present and breakfast in bed. She opens it to find a camera. Justin recalls she wants to be a photographer. Lindy sees her therapist, Dr. Munchin, to talk about her great date with Justin. Feeling inspired, she quickly goes to try her new camera. Later that night, Lindy calls Justin. A police officer answers his phone. She visits the police station where detectives Vickers and Nevins tell her Justin was killed. Lindy goes to his funeral and is the only one there. She recalls their short, happy time together and starts feeling really angry. She confronts Dr. Munchin angrily, saying the vest doesn't work anymore. He uses a shock to stop her attack. She keeps shocking herself, claiming the vest isn't working. He gives her a calming shot since the shocks aren't helping. She has dreams about Justin. When she wakes, Dr. Munchin says he's sorry about Justin, but she needs to focus on herself. She tricks the detectives by saying she knows more about Justin's murder to get into the precinct. When they're gone, she enters the precinct. She sees Justin's shirt, and recalls their night together. She takes his phone and wallet. Lindy goes to Justin's apartment to look around. Detective Vickers calls her, thinking she's innocent. He says Detective Nevins is coming to arrest her. After a short, rough fight with Nevins, Lindy leaves for the basement garage. She escapes in Justin's sports car after a long chase where Vickers gets hurt. At Technomag, she meets the manager and asks who knows the most about tech. She's taken to Andy, a hacker who finds Justin's last contact, Barry Kasparovsky. She gives Andy Justin's car keys as a thank you for her help. Lindy visits an empty building to meet Barry, who runs a secret fight club. Barry asks her what she wants, and she questions him about the accountant's murder. He denies killing Justin and wonders if she's a cop or an agent. She clarifies that she's just his partner. Lindy proposes a deal. If she can beat 3 of his top fighters, he should reveal the murderer's name. Barry finds it entertaining and selects 3 of his strongest fighters to take her on all at once, with no rules. Lindy accepts the challenge and defeats the fighters one by one in a fierce battle, while Barry and the audience cheer. After the fight, as Lindy and Barry drive in his car, Barry admits he's not good at keeping promises. His driver pulls a gun on her, but she disarms him, and Barry tries to escape. Lindy catches him and threatens to electrocute him while he's on the car's hood. She repeats her question. Barry reveals that a reclusive tycoon named Gareth Faisal, Justin's former boss, ordered the murder. Barry questions if she's really going to confront Gareth, and she confirms her intention by shocking him. Lindy goes to Detective Vickers in the hospital and thanks him for helping her make the right choice. She says she discovered Gareth Faisal killed Justin. He wonders if she has any evidence. Detective Vickers mentions Gareth is a very rich, secretive guy, involved in many illegal activities and can't be touched. Lindy asks where to find him. He provides his address in the city. Detective Nevins interrupts and follows Lindy through the hospital to the baby ward. The baby's cry in the ward almost makes her angry, but she uses her shock device to stay calm. While soothing the baby, Detective Nevins enters with her gun ready, telling her not to move or even breathe, and he tosses babies at Nevins to delay her as she makes her getaway. Lindy heads to Gareth's building. She asks the doorkeeper for Gareth Faisal. He says nobody by that name is there. Delacroix, the security chief, meets her and asks her to come with him. They go into an elevator which heads down to a lower basement, not up. As Lindy realizes this, he makes her pass out. She wakes up in a bright white basement room, tied to a chair without her vest. Delacroix inquires about the purpose of the vest. She warns it's dangerous to take the vest as she needs it for her heart condition. After he threatens her life, Delacroix keeps the vest and sends Lindy back to her place in a car. He tells Gareth she's been asking about an accountant. Trying to escape, Lindy chokes the driver, causing a crash. She flees. Dr. Munchin gets home to find Lindy, who needs help with a new device since she lost hers. She points a gun at him, then says sorry and hands it over. He gives her another vest and she heads back to her place. Lindy sees her door number shifted, showing someone was there. She enters through a window. Faisal's crew set up a bomb at the entrance. Lindy stops the bomb and saves it. She turns on the gas, puts a small bomb in the microwave, sets it for 20 minutes, and leaves. Outside her apartment, she meets Detective Vickers and gets in his car. She persuades Vickers not to arrest her. They talk about her situation. As they chat, her apartment explodes. She climbs up Faisal's building. Delacroix meets her at the top. He guides her to Faisal. They talk briefly, and she offends him. Delacroix hits her again. She wakes up tied to a chair in a white basement. Delacroix says he didn't kill Justin. Then he tries to hurt her. Angry, she breaks free and fights him. Before he dies, Lindy asks how to find Faisal and cuts off his finger. She gets past the guards and escapes. Using Delacroix's finger, she enters Faisal's hideout, finding Gareth already dead, and Justin steps out. He says he used her as a distraction to kill Faisal, planning to blame her. He reveals Lindy was part of Dr. Munchin's experiment he sponsored. Justin needed to know how to kill Faisal, a big problem everyone wanted gone but was protected. As Lindy gets angrier, she moves to attack him. He shocks her multiple times, insulting her. Her vest stops working due to her extreme anger. Lindy throws a bomb at Justin, activates it, and runs. Faisal's place explodes with Justin inside. Dr. Munchin finds Lindy in his office. She plans to kill him for betrayal. He apologizes, holding a gun. Detectives Vickers and Nivens arrive, and Lindy chooses not to shoot, handcuffing him instead. Vickers shoots Lindy in the leg, thinking she's attacking Dr. Munchin. Nivens arrests him for several crimes. At the hospital, Lindy claims self-defense to the detectives. Nivens says she'll be jailed for her assault. Vickers returns her vest and camera after Nivens leaves. He invites her to dinner as an apology for shooting her. Lindy goes back to her destroyed apartment and sifts through the debris. A woman walks in. Lindy doesn't know her and asks her identity. A flashback shows she's a doctor from Lindy's past tests. The doctor wants to recruit Lindy to an unknown group, promising to help her control her anger. Before Lindy responds, the woman uses her shock remote and it ends. Subscribe and enjoy more recaps.